Gunners, we must assemble because it's about to go down. Everything you see here is linked, from the Champions League draw today to a stressful conversation that happened on AFTV as I was watching the draw, and why those stressful conversations and worries will roll onto West Ham tomorrow, why that links to the Premier League race against title chasing favourites Liverpool right now as a whole, and why the ghost of Erling Haaland still haunts me today. We are going to get into all of that right now. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell. If you're on TikTok, make sure you hit that plus button and hit that share button too. I'd really appreciate that. And on both platforms, make sure you leave your comments down below of what you thought on this video, because there's a lot of points that I'm about to get into. With that being said, on your marks, get ready, get set, let's go. Also, Raheem will rise. Arsenal have drawn and will face PSV away from home in just under 2 weeks' time in the Champions League round of 16. This is the full round of 16 that you can see and picture right now, but we don't need to focus on all of that right now necessarily. In about 2 weeks' time, we're going to preview this, but look at this side of the draw. This is what we need to be focused on. These are our potential quarter-final opponents and semi-final opponents in the run to that Champions League that we want, but we will get into all of that in the preview. It could be very, very exciting though. Like I said, I was watching AFTV as the stream was going along of the Champions League draw, and there was a conversation happening between Robbie and Cecil, and basically this is how the conversation went. Robbie, you know, say me stress, you know. Cecil, what you stress for? Robbie, you know, say we're not a striker. Boy, why you fret for? We are the ass now. But Robbie, you know, say me stress about the striker situation. But you're not to fear about Arsenal. You're not to fear about PSV. You have broke them up. That's basically how the conversation went. And the reason why I want to pick that out is because, one, should we fear PSV? Should we be worried about PSV? These are the reasons why I'm worried. Hello, okay, I'm here. Can you see? I'm here. It's like, where's Dini at the moment? Okay, I'm right here, but I made myself really small so you can see why some of us Arsenal fans will be worried. Look at the amount of times that we've gone out of the Champions League in a round of 16, and look at the teams that we've gone out to that we shouldn't have went out to. And you know what I didn't even notice at the time? Look at 06, 07 and who we went out to in a round of 16. Look at that scoreline. That is a similar scoreline that could happen in a couple of weeks' time, for example. This is why they were worried. This is why Cecil was worried. Because look at Monaco. Look at AC Milan. Look at PSV. Even look at Bayern last season as well. Games that Bayern last season weren't the Bayern Munich that destroyed us 10-2 on average. You know what I mean? They weren't the same Bayern, and we should have done better, in my opinion. Absolutely. Monaco, we lost 3-1 in the first leg. Why? Because we lacked. Same with AC Milan in the first one. We lacked in the first one. We brought it back in the second leg. It wasn't enough. And the same thing. It's the same thing again and again. It was the same thing in the Europa League as well. I know this ain't the Europa League graphic, but we went out to Sporting. We went out to Olympiacos. We went out to Atletico Madrid. Maybe not so much, but we had games in there where it's like we should have won, but then again, we should have still respected the team at the same time, because we haven't won anything yet at the same time. But it's like, when are we going to get over the hurdle? We want to win the Champions League. We want to win the Premier League. But the reason why we're worried about this, and the reason why we were always worried about this, and in qualifiers gone by, is simply because of the fact that we never signed a striker in the 13-14 season. We never. How many times have we left ourselves short after a January transfer window, and that we've known in the months coming that we're going to be short and it's going to be a struggle and this, that and the other. This is why we're worried. But at the same time, we still have a strong back four. We still have a strong back four. We still have a strong midfield. And if we can work something out there, maybe we can jam our way to something. But it's not going to be easy. I think that's the overarching point. It's just not going to be easy at the end of the day. And that's where the worry is. You still have to respect PSV, but I expect us to go through. But I've always expected us to go through. And this is why the ghost of Erling will always haunt me. Because until we win something, we must be humble. We must be humble. That's all I'm going to say on it. And again, Sterling will rise. And this is why I'm worried about West Ham. Do I expect us to beat West Ham? Absolutely. But remember how the game at Leicester started? Sterling was offside a number of times. Trossard was offside a number of times. He wasn't doing anything until about the 70th minute, until Mikel Merino actually came on and scored those goals. And even when Yeri was just brilliant that day. Do you know what I mean? But until, my point is that, because I'll get into the preview, predicted 11 in a second, of what I think is going to happen. But until Martinelli and Saka come back, we know what our options are limited. So we have to work with what we got. And sometimes what we got won't always be enough, but we can only hope and pray. But let's get into the preview of Arsenal versus West Ham, 3 o'clock at the Emirates tomorrow. Currently unbeaten in our last 15 Premier League games, our longest run since the 2010 and 2011 season. We are also unbeaten in our last 15 home games, which is, I didn't actually realize that. So that's 15 and 15. I'm not complaining about that. So with this stat, I'm confident for West Ham tomorrow. West Ham have just won one of their last 7 Premier League games, beating Fulham 3-2 in Graham Potter's first game in charge. This will be their 5th London derby in just 6 games under Potter, losing each of the last 3. We do love a game against West Ham. Graham Potter is not doing well. Some West Ham fans have said they are happy. Some West Ham fans are saying they are content but gonna see where it goes, and some are just unhappy at the moment. We need to get at this team. In our last 3 games against West Ham, we lost 2-0, which is a game we should have won at the Emirates in the last campaign last season. Then we battered them 6-0 away from home. Then we beat them away from home just gone a few months ago. So in the results gone by, I mean, we've scored a lot of goals and we lost games we should have won. We lost games in the League Cup as well that we went out of against West Ham as well. We don't like West Ham. We don't really like West Ham too much, because they've just, I mean, to be fair, actually, you gave us Deckers. Let me not chat too much. The reason why we're stressed about this game, the only reason why we're stressed about this game is because we know we may have to resort to this and Nwaneri and Merino in the second half again if it doesn't work out. This was our best option against Leicester, sticking Merino up front and putting it in there and making sure and just hoping that he can get on the end of something. This is the predicted 11 I would go with. Goalkeeper, same back 4, same midfield, same front 3. I would just put Sterling up front. Trossard is better on the left, and when Yeri's fine on the right, stick Sterling down the middle. Because right now that striker role is a free role for anyone to play in right now. We don't have a forward. So stick Sterling up there. See if you can get him in behind West Ham's defense. Get some balls in behind and see if you can slot it in for tap-ins, crosses in, low hard balls into the box, and this, that, and the other, and see what you can do. Then if that doesn't work, then you try bring on Merino or this, that, and the other. But try play Sterling in that position. We're going to need him if our players don't come back from injury, if they have any setbacks. We need to play him into form. So start him. If it doesn't work, we know we have Merino on the bench. We know he's there. Now with the Premier League table looking like this before we play West Ham, if we do win against West Ham, which is what I expect we will do, the Premier League table will then look like this. And then Liverpool the next day will go on and take on Man City at the Etihad Stadium. Liverpool dropped points against Aston Villa in the week, and they were feeling the pressure against Wolves, and they will have Newcastle after this. The Premier League is hotting up, and if Liverpool do drop points against Man City tomorrow, it's us with a game in hand with Nottingham Forest on that game on Wednesday in midweek. The Premier League is hotting up. Everything is linked. Will we win the league? I don't know, because we still won't have a striker. But if we can get our players back, who knows? Will we win the Champions League? We'll get to that preview in a couple of weeks' time. Oh, lastly, Arsenal 4, West Ham 0. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you for the match reaction. Love and guidance, people.